Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a game of, this guy. He plays under top ELO NA 2700 plus TW 2500 plus blah 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 blah. I have no clue who he is. He is playing on the Korean server. He seems to speak Korean as well. Let me turn off the sound. That would be nice if it would actually allow me to do anything. That would be cool. Anyhow, we're just going to see whether this actually recovers, because it seems that the website just crashed. Okay, let's do that again. And there we go. We are back. We may actually have to endure another commercial here. And yeah, he does play on a different setting than I have. So that kind of sucks. But hey, that's just the way it goes. So this is the highest quality stream he has. I cannot, make it any better. Yeah, we are playing Caithlyn here. And as I said, I don't know who he is. I can't read the name even. Maybe you guys know him. He seems to play under this tag, so HBFs.GoDJJ. So we are going for those early two golems, so the double golems into the lane. And yeah, this Nunu knows how it's done. And I like that that font on the gold. It's a little bit bigger than what we normally have. And we see him putting down some traps, and of course going into the lane here. Yeah, so the font on the gold is a little bit bigger than it normally is. I don't know whether that is true on the Korean server or just in general. I just didn't notice it yet. No, I'm pretty sure it's not in general. Pretty sure it's just the Korean server. So yeah, against the Asriel here, and Asriel is of course in every game that you play, unless he's banned. Well, not in the lower ELOs, but in the higher ELOs at least. So almost gets killed there, or gets caught there. Hang on. Okay, so he was still talking even though the stream was muted. Okay, that's what the pros are, man. The pros can do those things. You can't even imagine. So we are at 13 minions, which is pretty good. And as you can see in the top left, this is on Twitch. And someone is kind of trying to destroy everything here on my desk. Sorry about that. If she comes close enough, I'll show her to you. She's the pretty one. No, she's gone. But yeah, she likes to just destroy everything that's on my desk or around my desk, and that is just, yeah, that's just the way cats are. For those of you who don't know, I have 4 cats. And they are all rescues. They all grew up here from when they were like this big. Because I used to work for, I used to volunteer for the Pound. We got these kittens at like a few days old, and then they have no mother anymore, or well, the mother is gone, and you have to feed them by hand. It's pretty cute. Can no longer do that with 4 cats in my house, but it was pretty fun while it lasted. And yeah, you get to pick the nicest cats for yourself, so I have 4 very nice cats. Well, one of them is very shy, so you will probably never see her on stream. But the other 3 come and visit me every now and then. And they come and walk in front of my my screen here, or they lie on top of my keyboard, or they just in general want to have attention. And yeah, as I said, if she comes near enough again, I will pick her up. And yeah, I just sent her away, so she probably thinks that I'm mad at her now, or that she shouldn't come here. So it'll take her a while, but we'll see. Anyway, going into this game, yeah, it's a pretty boring game, so I decided to go with another story. Because the game, yeah, you can pretty much see what's happening. Blitzcrank is missing all of his grabs and taking a whole lot of damage there from running into a trap. The traps are of course awesome in that way that the minions cannot take them out, so you can zone people out pretty effectively with them. And yeah, if you would be able to have more than 3, that would be so much too powerful. Oh man, that would have been crazy. If you could have 4, you could wall off the entire the entire lane. So with 3, you still have to leave a gap somewhere. And oh, this is gonna be close. Oh, he doesn't finish the kill, but they do pick up the kill on the enemy team. Yeah, that's a shame. He could have had first blood there, but then he would have died. And the stream freezes once more. Okay, there we go. No, it doesn't want to. This is not my computer, by the way. It is the stream freezing up. But yeah, that's Koreans, man. Awesome gaming, but crappy internet. So we are going for the level 2 boots. Wow, the font on these numbers is completely different from ours. It's so much more crisp, which means it's nicer to look at. Well, crisp means it's kind of has sharp edges, I guess. That would be the best way to describe that. Does he really have teleport or what? Or did we just miss that much of the game that he ran into lane and I just completely missed it? Anyhow, lots of damage going off again on Blitzcrank. Taking some tower shots for that. Wow. Would not have expected him to want to trade that. And come on. No, his ultimate is not available. Well, it's not going to be a good trade. Yeah, there we go, getting the kill. Asriel doing a good job of sticking close to Caithlyn there and just grabbing a double kill. MC Jackson. Who got it? I can't see who has the blue buff because both of them have a buff. It seems that indeed Oriana did pick it up. That was no, that was the shield on Riven, I think, that I saw. Yeah, Wukong dies instantly. Didn't have his invisibility up. Probably already used it in his escape. And yeah, there goes Karthus. Or rather, Karthus gets a kill. Another kill in this fight, because he already picked up one of the kills with his ultimate. That's what the ultimate is good for, of course. So yeah, the enemy now ahead by 2 kills, while the Asriel ahead by 2 kills. And that of course sucks, because Asriel that is fed is really dangerous. Well, just like any AD carry. But even more in the early to mid game, because that's where Asriel is really good. And in the later games, or in the later part of the game, he really doesn't do as much as Caithlyn. So Caithlyn should be able to win that part. But here you can see how much damage he does. He does a ridiculous amount of damage when he picks up that sheen, and I don't even know if he has that yet. No, he only has the Phage and the Mana Crystal, so he is going into that sheen. but we will see how that works. So man, yeah, Asriel now ahead by 3 kills, no 4 actually, 4-0 in this bottom lane. I didn't know if he picked up the kill on the support, but he didn't. Well, Nunu's the support, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, Nunu's the support. Nunu didn't die this time. But still, it was it's 4 kills for Asriel and 0 for Caithlyn. And yeah, if oh man, if Asriel gets more gold here than the Caithlyn, so significantly more gold of course, then Caithlyn is going to be in some severe trouble later in the game, because there is really no way that she can come back then. For now, it is still okay. Asriel doing another nice thing there, disrupting that recall. And they are going to try to grab the Nunu, but Nunu is too far away. They should have just gone for the Caithlyn, man. It was 3 versus 1. Nunu was not going to be able to help, and yeah, they pretty much had that. Of course, now Caithlyn is going to harass back, and Caithlyn's range is pretty awesome. So they are going to back off. Caithlyn is going to push in a little bit, do some damage on the turret. The turret is already under half health, and yeah, she might actually be able to finish that pretty quickly, or pretty soon. But hey, we will have to see that. So for now, she's just doing some damage, and Nunu is giving her a speed boost. And yeah, it's getting pretty close to actually falling. May actually pick it up. Nunu getting his ultimate off, and wow, doing so much damage. Come on, Nunu. Yes, Nunu picks up the final kill, or the final hit. And yeah, at least that's, well, 2 assists back. And it's definitely not equal yet, but yeah, double kill here. Well, not a double. Did that Asriel die? I don't think so. Don't think he actually died. So she did get 2 assists in total. So maybe got one earlier. I don't know. We'll have to see if Asriel actually already died in this game. Even that doesn't say anything. It's all about yeah, the when, I guess. Because he could have died to Cartes, and Caithlyn could have picked up an assist there, but I don't think he died here. But well, doesn't matter. I hope at some point we will be able to see gold with the stat screen. That would be so awesome. So the score screen, because if we can see the gold, then yeah, we can make better decisions. So if we can see whether we're ahead or behind, or even if we can only see it on our team, because if it's supposed to be, well, I don't know why it would be hidden. I mean, you can pretty much calculate from the score screen here how much gold you have. We'll have to see. I mean, minions are worth 20 each, and kills are worth like 300 each. Assists are worth 190 each, something like that, 170. And then if you just do that, you can pretty much calculate the difference between 2 champions. Not so much the overall gold, but that's not really important. What's important is the difference between you and someone else. And yeah, as I said, you can pretty much calculate that straight off. A very nice kill with the ultimate, and then of course, yeah, Nunu dies for that, because Asriel is just very, very strong. So yeah, the gank incoming. And yeah, Gragas is going to ult her, and yeah, even though the ult doesn't really displace her, it still stuns her, even though it has no stun. And that is kind of crazy. It's not supposed to do that. And of course she could have waited with her, what's it called, the 90 caliber net, until I actually use this ult and then jump out of the range of it. But that would have been difficult to do. So I guess this would be the safer play. I'm not actually sure. Well, the ult does have some cast time between the moment he releases it and the moment it lands. But so does the 90 caliber net. It's not like it's an instant spell. But hey, that's what you get for not experimenting with a champion I don't know. So if I experimented with this champion, I would have known whether that was possible. But hey, that's what you get, as I said. So 117 minions now. Really farming it up in this early game, and that means that the only action that's really here is because of the ganks. And of course, yeah, the ganks are normally the only thing that's happening in the early game, and that's also why you need to wards out. There are no real wards out. There are 2 wards out, but they don't really show anything. And the enemy just putting a ward in that tribush, it seemed. Of course, we can't see that anymore because they hide. Or they stealth, I should call it. Every game has their own word for it. Every game and, well, television show, I guess. Oh man, that was so good from Asriel. Wow. That's why Asriel is so strong in the early to mid game. And yeah, if he can carry this this damage into the late game, yeah, he's going to be awesome in the late game as well. But if he doesn't get anything done in the early to mid game, yeah, he is pretty much useless in the end game. But of course, yeah, he still does a crap ton of damage. He has that extra attack on his Q, which also does a little bit of extra damage, but that's not what it's usually used for. It's usually used to just be an extra auto attack. So you auto attack Q and then you auto attack again, and you lose virtually no time on that. But yeah, overall it's just it's very hard for Asriel to carry in the late game, but if he gets fed, then he is awesome. Because that the Sheen effect is going to make sure that he still does a whole lot of damage then, if he gets enough damage going. And wow, that was pretty fail. The ultimate from Orianna not actually working the way it should. It didn't carry him up the ramp into the trap, and it should have, I think, because that distance really didn't calculate correctly there. So wow, lots of damage going off here on both teams, but it seems that the green team comes out ahead for now. Hello Asriel, how are you doing? No, they're not going to pick up the kill. No. They're going to pick up the tower though, no problem. Yeah, that's good enough, I guess. And yeah, well, they have to back out now because everyone can be coming in. Yeah, Caithlyn of course going to pick up some minions while retreating, because that's what you do. Yeah, so another ward in the tribush, enemy has the same wards as they have, and they can pretty much see the same thing as they can. And we are going for some attack speed. And as you can see, first getting the attack, well, the BF sword with the vampiric scepter, and then going into whatever. In this case, the bloodthirster. I don't know why she goes bloodthirster first. It doesn't do as much damage as the Infinity Edge, but it does result in some pretty nice damage of his own. I guess it's pretty good if you're behind, because, well, if you can get the lifesteal going, then you can win even though you're behind. And that, of course, is a very strong thing to have. So yeah, otherwise you, if you go Infinity Edge, then you pretty much are always behind on your enemy, and you have to get lucky, or, well, have a teammate with you, or an extra teammate with you, to win the fight. And in this case, if you farm up your bloodthirster, you can still win, because you can lifesteal back what they took from you. Yeah, well, I guess I can see it working like that. So yeah, red buff. Red buff also helps with, well, with winning a fight, of course, because it does extra damage. And let's see if we can actually get onto this Blitzcrank or something like that. Funny thing is, he doesn't have Smartcast on. I would have expected people like this to have Smartcast on. But hey, in the end, it doesn't matter, as long as you place your skills correctly, or play your skills correctly. Wow, very nice dodge there on that grab. Second time he does that, so it's definitely not a coincidence. And getting a lot of damage done on Blitzcrank, but Blitzcrank is just going to run out, and the enemy team is going to pick up the 1 kill. Actually 2 kills for 1 so far. And Caithlyn is going to come in from behind, kill the Ezreal. No! He's actually getting away. Oh, she still gets him though. Yeah, and she does not get the last one. That would have been a very lucky shot, but might as well take it, right? And there you see the power of that lifesteal, immediately healing back up. Even though she got tagged up pretty heavily, she immediately heals that back up. And wow, come on! Oh, that was so close. Oh, she still gets it. She still gets it with the red buff. Wow. I was wondering why he died, but the red buff is the only explanation there. Wow. Yeah, I knew it was close, but I didn't know it was that close, because red buff really doesn't do that much damage. It is still a pretty decent thing to have though, but yeah, it worked out really well. So yeah, there is no red buff there. But some pretty nice play. I've never seen this guy play, but I think I'll look up his stream more often, because he is pretty good. Even though he kind of messed up in that early game. Well, they both did, the bottom laners. But yeah, pretty amazing farming here, and pretty good use of game skills. So it's not just about getting a lot of kills. It's also, yeah, like, how do you use the knowledge you have to make decisions? And in this case, that was pretty amazing. Not running behind the Ezreal, for example, but running ahead of him to make sure that she can cut him off and make sure that he couldn't get into the base. That was a pretty amazing move. I don't think many people would have made that same move. And yeah, you can say, well, it's pretty standard play, but it really isn't. Because you normally see people just running after their enemies like brainless zombies. And in this case, he really understood what needed to be done. He knew that the enemies, well, he wasn't going to catch up if he ran after them. So he was trying to cut them off from where he thought they were. And they pick up another kill here. But yeah, another kill on the Cartis, who has not been having a good game. And hello, Mr. Blitzcrank. Yeah, those traps are excellent at spotting enemies. Oh, oracles! Yeah, there goes the oracles. And she doesn't have anything, so she needs to kill this dude. Oh, easily. Easily, the lifesteal coming in and working its magic. 2 bloodthirsters now, so yeah, really no way that she can lose to single champions anymore. Of course, Asriel being the sole exception there. Because Asriel does as much damage as she does, so yeah, even with what is it, maximum of 40% lifesteal if they both of them are leveled up or are farmed up. Yeah, then he would have 43% lifesteal with the masteries, maybe 46%, but yeah, Asriel would therefore still do 50% damage. Don't know if lifesteal is applied before or after armor, because that would make a big difference. I don't know. We'll never know. Anyway, 55% or something like that of the Asriel's damage will still be done or get through, and since he can do a pretty big burst and then right click someone, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, 55% of that burst is still a whole lot. And that is, of course, assuming that both of them do the same amount of damage. So yeah, the lifesteal in that regard works as a very defensive thing. It's just, yeah, it is so overpowered, or if you don't like me using that word, even though it is true, it is very powerful because it scales with attack damage. And nothing should scale with attack damage. I mean, lifesteal should be like with every hit you get 10 life, or 10 health, sorry. Or with every hit you get 15 health. I don't really care the amount. It should be a flat amount. It shouldn't scale with attack damage, but because that way, getting ahead in attack damage would mean you get ahead in lifesteal, and yeah. That's just, it's impossible to balance that. I mean, you have that in every game. You have in every game that has one thing scale with another thing. That's very hard to balance already. But if you see that your skills, yeah, are hang on, your abilities scale with AP. That's the normal thing to happen. AP doesn't really affect anything else, so basically you say that AP is damage. And yeah, if you scale with AD, then the attack damage itself, so the AD itself is damage, but also your skills do more damage. And in this case your lifesteal does more, and that's just, it's impossible to balance. Because you get a multiplication factor in the effectiveness, and yeah, you don't get that same multiplication factor in other things, so therefore it is by definition impossible to balance. It doesn't even have anything to do with Riot being unable to balance anything. Well, we have some lag going on in this stream, and it's kind of annoying. 250 minions now, well, 242 I guess. But yeah, pretty amazing numbers there. seeing that she was behind for the entire early game. She's now 6-5 with 5 assists. But yeah, that early game really messed up her play. And come on, are we going to see more? Wow, yeah, we are going to see more. Come on, yes, gets the kill. Or they get the kill. I don't know who got it. Oh, she actually got it. She actually landed that last hit before she died. Or after she died. So yeah, 2 Bloodthirsters, Phantom Dancer. That's a pretty strange build, but it does seem to work. So yeah, not going to say anything bad about it. I mean, there's no reason to say anything bad about it, because the only thing that, well, that it doesn't have is like huge amounts of damage. Infinity Edge adds a huge amount of damage, and that's what it doesn't have. But he still has 1 spot available after finishing that last Whisper, because that's what that pickaxe is going to be. And then yeah, that's the chat says that as well. 2 times Bloodthirster is not worth it without IE, so Infinity Edge. But yeah, if you now go for Infinity Edge on that last spot, then you won't have the place for the Guardian Angel, and the defensive stats are awesome in the late game. So unless your team can actually protect you, you're going to be screwed in the late game if you don't go for a defensive item. And that can be Guardian Angel. It doesn't have to be. It's just that Guardian Angel adds a very nice balance between magic resist and armor. And of course gets that that revive effect, which sometimes allows you to survive where you would have died otherwise. Not every time, but because you have lifesteal and you have teammates, if your teammates are still around and can protect you a little bit after you resurrect, then you can lifesteal back up to full. And that of course is why everyone is going for that, because it gives you a second chance to actually come back. And yeah, that is amazingly strong. But really, if they removed lifesteal from this game, it would be so much more entertaining. Well, they also should remove more than that, but if they would make, yeah, I talked about that already in a previous cast, and then I got a whole lot of crap comments. But they should really make a tournament version, so a pro version, where you don't have lifesteal, you don't have, or you have, and that's what I think should happen. You have a debuff on damage for the tanky characters, and debuff for armor, magic resist, and health on the carries. So you basically either play a carry or you play a tanky character, but you can't do the tanky DPS thing. You also cannot buy lifesteal then on because they should remove lifesteal, but you shouldn't be able to use lifesteal and build a tanky character on someone like Caithlyn. So Guardian Angel would only be, for example, 70% effective, so the armor and magic resist. And on someone like Aurelia, who builds a lot of, who is very tanky, I mean, just in general, or you have some other ones. You shouldn't be able to build damage. So AP would be AP and AD would only be 70% effective, for example. That way we would see different play, but we also would see more team play, because now, and that's what you see here, everyone just plays for themselves. If you just watch Caithlyn is never protected by her allies because she doesn't need protection. She just lifesteals everything and then runs out when she becomes too low. But they never need to protect her. And if you just remove lifesteal, there is a real need to really add teamwork to this. And oh, Gragas is going to survive that. But having adding real teamwork necessity to this game would be awesome. So that we would see more like Alistar. Well, for example, Alistar would be really good at defending your carry, and therefore the combination of Gragas with Caithlyn would be awesome, or with someone else. But you wouldn't be able to do like the Nunu support. Nunu support doesn't really do anything. It adds attack speed, but nothing else. And in other MOBAs, you see that a lot. You see a lot of the real carry potential, because carries are, well, super effective at dealing damage, but they're not effective at getting tanky items. And the difference between this game and, for example, Dota, I don't know Dota 2, I'm assuming Dota 2, Heroes of New Earth, anything really, is that other games, so also the lesser known, they work with, they don't work with health and armor and magic resist. No, they work with strength, for example. And you would buy strength on a carry, I think, no, well, either strength or dexterity. So you would have like strength, dexterity, and intelligence or something like that. And they don't just add one thing, but strength, for example, adds to melee attacks and it adds to your health. So both at the same time. So you wouldn't be able to buy just health or just attack damage. And dexterity adds to ranged attacks and your movement speed. For example, I don't know what it actually adds to in Dota, but it doesn't matter. Something like that. So it adds to multiple stats at the same time. And then you have intelligence, and intelligence adds to your abilities and to your mana pool. So getting, for example, strength on your character. No, hang on. Strength. No, something also adds armor. I don't know. But I think strength adds armor. But it doesn't really matter. The idea behind that is that you would have, well, a carry only go for dexterity, for example, because dexterity actually adds damage to their attacks. If they go for strength and add more armor and such, yeah, they will lose a spot in their inventory, which is not the case in League of Legends. They would lose a stack in their inventory for a basically useless item, an item they don't need. And yeah, that's just not the case in this game, because here you have plenty of items that combine HP with AP, or so health with AP, or health with attack damage, or armor with attack damage, or any such things. And yeah, that's what makes this game so noob friendly. It also makes for such boring play at times, because virtually every match is the same. People always buy the same items, because there really is no choice. You don't go for other items. And look at this last item. Yes, it is a Leviathan. That is crazy. Who the hell goes for that? Especially this late in the game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I can't read the chat, but the chat is discussing it as well. But yeah, he is 10, 8, 10, so he does have the capability at least to stack it up. But the problem is he already has a whole lot of gold going. I think it's 350 already, that he will never be able to spend. Unless he goes for another Phantom Dancer. But I will have to conclude that he's just trolling around a little bit here. That's a shame, because he has great skills, it seems. And I would like to have his first game that I see him play actually be a very good game. Come on. Yeah, they're not going to pick up any kills here. Nope. Enemy picks up 2 kills, and that's about it. She might be able to get a kill out of this if some low champion stays in. But nope, they're all just too tanky. She can't take out any of them. Yeah, whatever. Anyhow, yeah, Caithlyn just getting owned here because she stayed in way too long. And obviously once the minions arrive, you can't defend there. So once the minions arrive, the tower is going to focus the minions first, and then they can just engage on you and run out of turret range and run back in. That's the way it goes. So anyway, the game is over. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. GG.